Okay, in this video we want to go from rectangular coordinates into polar coordinates. Well, those two equations we had before, x is equal to r cosine of theta, and y is equal to r times the sine of theta, can be used to generate the conversion going back into polar form. So let's recall how we got that again. This is the triangle where this angle here is theta. This was the point x comma y, where this directed distance, the hypotenuse, is equal to r, the adjacent side was equal to x, and the hypotenuse was equal to y. If we look at that triangle, the tangent of theta is equal to opposite divided by the adjacent. That is y divided by x. And that statement, tangent of theta is equal to y divided by x, gives us a way to solve for theta. That tells us that theta is the arctangent of y divided by x. And if we look at x as r cosine of theta, and y is r times the sine of theta, look what happens when we square both sides. We get x squared is r squared times the cosine squared theta, and y squared is r squared times the sine squared theta. Adding those two equations produces x squared plus y squared is r squared cosine squared theta plus r squared sine squared theta. And if we factor out an r squared, we have x squared plus y squared is r squared times the quantity cosine squared theta plus sine squared theta and quantity. And if we remember, the Pythagorean identity tells us that cosine squared theta plus the sine squared theta is equal to 1. Therefore, x squared plus y squared is r squared times 1. In other words, x squared plus y squared is equal to r squared, is the equation of the circle with radius r and centered about the origin. So these two equations, x squared plus y squared is equal to r squared, and the tangent of theta is y divided by x, gives us a way that if we know x and y, we can always convert into r comma theta. So for example, we want to convert the point, rectangular point, 3, 4 into polar coordinates, r comma theta. Well, we have that the tangent of theta is y divided by x, so that tells us the tangent of theta is 4 divided by 3, and theta is the arctangent of 4/3. And we have x squared plus y squared is equal to r squared. That gives us 3 squared plus 4 squared is equal to r squared. And simplifying, we have 9 plus 16 is equal to r squared. So 25 is equal to r squared. Taking the square root of both sides, we get r as the square root of 25, which is 5. So the radius is 5, and our angle is the arctangent of 4/3. So the polar coordinates, so the rectangular point 3, 4 is the same as 5, the arctangent of 4/3 in polar form. And you can compute the arctangent of 4/3 with your calculator to get a degree approximation.